Hey everybody, so welcome to episode 2 of Average Investor trying to go from $0 to $100,000 in 2 years. Kind of funny, I had a feeling this was going to happen. As we made our first episode just a couple of weeks ago, we were doing pretty well. I think we had like a profit margin of like $360 something for the month. And I did mention in that episode that we're going to have some bad days. We're going to have some red weeks, red months potentially. And here we are. Was hoping that it wasn't going to happen so soon, but full transparency, like I said, I'm going to show you the ups and the downs. Been doing this for a lot of years, and unfortunately, downs happen. And doing some reading, there's definitely a lot of contributing factors to why the market kind of took a dive, because the portfolio that I had as of a couple weeks ago was up like 9%, and as you can see now, there's a lot of red on our charts if you look over on the right hand side. So let's start out with our overall account value. So we're at $7,710. That includes how much money we have actually invested in our stock portfolio, plus our emergency fund of $451. And like I explained in the last video, the emergency fund is only there in case I need to do some dollar cost averaging, where if I have one of my stocks drop down a pretty significant percentage, I will actually use that money to purchase more stock so I can lower my average share cost on that one. And so far, I haven't reached a level where I'm concerned with something like that. If you look over to the right, you'll see Nvidia is now my worst performing stock. It took a little nosedive, and it's down 4.58%. Still not an area for concern. I usually will dollar cost average down if one of my stocks drops 10%. I'll go ahead and throw some more money at it, especially these Fortune 500 companies. Definitely not worried about them completely collapsing in the long run. So I'll use that method to kind of recoup some of my funds a little faster. So let's look at profit as of 1 January 2020. So as you can see now, we are officially in the red for the month. We're down $148.21 and $524 since the last episode, which kind of sucks because we were up $360 something. So now with the overall portfolio being down 148, the difference between the last episode and now, just 2 weeks later, is $500 something. So kind of sucks, but we'll get through it. Moving into the next month, one of the contributing factors, of course, there's been a lot of talk about the coronavirus. So a lot of impact, especially over in China, is what they're saying. A lot of especially tech companies, are based out of there and do a lot of work out of there. So it is kind of understandable. Stocks like Disney, they have like a Disney theme park over there, I guess, and they shut it down. So they're definitely taking it very serious, and it's going to have some global effects naturally. But in times like this, I kind of get a little excited because now that I've got some money to jump back into the stock market, this could be a great opportunity to pick up some shares at a cheaper price. And that part kind of excites me. Not losing money, but getting shares at a cheaper price does, because when it does eventually turn around and start coming back up, we'll end up making more money. Now when that is, we just don't know. So we'll just keep monitoring the situation over there, and I'm going to keep buying until that happens. So if you look down, again on the right hand side, our best performing stock. So I bought a new stock. BAH is Booz Allen Hamilton, probably one of the largest consulting firms, I guess, in the nation. They have around, I think, 27,000 employees. Being in the IT industry myself, I've worked a lot with Booz Allen Hamilton representatives. They come in, they do cybersecurity threats and analysis, make sure that we're doing our best job as IT professionals to make network secure and stuff. But that's the main core of their business, from what I understand, is consulting. but every single one of them that I've ever met has just been extremely professional, extremely smart. They know what they're talking about, and they've always delivered great results for us as IT professionals to help us do our job even better. And they have a lot of government contracts, and that's part of the reason I bought their stock, because I wanted to start building kind of a cybersecurity portion of my portfolio, still staying in the technical sector, as you can tell just by looking over here. I now have BAH, Booz Allen Hamilton, and Facebook and Nvidia. So still staying within the tech sector. And you can see how many shares of each company. I bought 14 shares, which cost me roughly almost $1,100 just yesterday. And I was going to walk you through step by step how to buy those shares, but they were posting quarterly earnings yesterday, so I needed to buy them yesterday, and I only got around to making the video today. But I will kind of walk you step by step on how to do it. So looking at the portfolio again, you can see that I'm only up $3 overall on Booz Allen Hamilton. That's just because I just bought it yesterday. So 0.28%. Facebook I am now officially down on 1.41%, and Nvidia is again my worst performing stock at the moment at negative 4.58%. All right. So I'm assuming by now you've already set up your account to where it's linked to your bank account if you're brand new and you wanted to start doing this. So at that point, if you wanted to deposit money from your bank account to your Ameritrade account, if you have Ameritrade. Now, if you have a different account, I won't be able to walk you through that because I have Ameritrade. So you'll go up to account, then you'll go to deposit. Pretty simple so far. I always use the transfer from your bank method, ACH. You literally just click on, I have my checking account linked to it, and then you type in your amount, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to actually do it because I've already done it this week. Frequency, if you want to do a deposit now, hold on, let me scroll down. Actually, it's kind of cutting off my screen there, but there's a frequency option, and it just says one time. You select today, and then you hit continue. Boom, your money's in your account. And then after that, if you want to buy a stock, super simple. Just go over here and click on trade. And I'll kind of walk you through how I bought my Booz Allen Hamilton stock. Super easy. Now, being that it's a Saturday, stock market's not open, so nothing is going to execute. Let's go ahead and do stocks and ETFs. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. So you want to hit buy. Stock symbol. You'll have to do some Google searches if you don't know a stock symbol of a company you want to buy. For me, I already know it. So I just typed in BAH. Now this one, you can actually type in the number of shares you want. If you already know the share cost per share, you can kind of do the calculation in your head. Or you can say, I want to invest this amount of money, which is what I did. I just typed in 1100, and it tells me that, oops, hold on, sorry. Let me just scroll down so you guys can see it if I can. All right, so I type in $1,100, and it tells me that I can only buy 14 shares. All right, and then after that, I just hit enter. Okay, so after that, there's two different, or there's actually multiple kinds, but the two that I use is either limit or market. Market means you want to buy the shares right now, instantaneous, whatever the price is at that moment. And is when you click that market, if the market is open, you will have those shares immediately as soon as you hit submit. Now, if you want to set a limit price, this is a little bit different. Let's say the stock is trading at, I see over in the corner, $78, right on the nose. Let's say you want to buy the shares at $77. You want the stock to kind of go down first and buy it there. So you will set a limit price, right? And then you'll type in the price that you are willing to pay for those shares. So in that case, you would type in 77 or 70. Maybe you want it to drop a lot, and you can set that to never expire. You can leave it open as long as you good until canceled. Basically, is what it says. or you can just do it for one day, you know, and then it'll cancel that out if it doesn't execute. It's only going to execute if that stock drops down to that 70 mark. If it doesn't, you know, it's just that trade is never going to go through. I rarely do that. I usually just select market and I just buy the shares at the price that it's at. Unless I really anticipate a stock dropping, then I'll set a limit price, and if it just happens to hit that price that I set, it'll trigger, and then hopefully, you know, it comes back up, maybe even in the same day. So that's kind of how that works. And then after that, there's a little section down below. I know you can't see it, but select buy, the number of shares, the stock symbol. Market price means you're willing to pay what the price is right now, which is $78. Now, granted, the market's closed, so nothing I do is going to actually go through. But let's say hypothetically the market was open, and as soon as I hit review order, it'll tell you how much you're going to spend, what your fees are, which with Ameritrade I think it's like $7 a trade. You hit submit, and boom, you now own that number of shares of that company. And then when you go back to my account overview, or actually you can go to positions, it will actually show you, it will pop up, no kidding, right there. And that's it. That's all you have to do to buy shares. Super simple. And then after that, you hope it goes up. But I mean, that's part of it. Like I said, if you look kind of down right next to where I have the webcam right here, you'll see that, you know, I'm going to keep track of each month. So for January 2020, you know, we were down to 2%. Still, like I said, nowhere near panic mode at this point. If I have a stock that drops 10%, I will probably go ahead and dip into that emergency fund and go ahead and do some cost averaging. I'm probably not going to sell these stocks because I believe in these companies in the long run. I mean, we're going to be doing this for the next 2 years, probably longer. But, you know, it is what it is. It happens. And, you know, it's just bad timing that, you know, I started making these videos and then all of a sudden people started getting sick because of the coronavirus. And you know, Facebook didn't really hit their quarterly numbers like they anticipated. They've exceeded their quarterly numbers for, I don't even know how many quarters now, but it feels like 2 years at least. And this one they fell just a little bit short, so just bad timing. And that their quarterly results were on Thursday, I think it was. So after that, it took a little dive. Investors weren't too happy with the numbers, even though the numbers were pretty good. They weren't bad. They just kind of fell short of the estimates. So I think that's all I have for episode 2. Next episode will be around 15th of February. We will be adding about $2,000 to our portfolio on that day. So I plan on buying at least one more company, maybe two. I may split my purchase, 1,000 in one company, 1,000 in another company, that expand my portfolio to 5 companies, or 4 or 5 companies. And we'll go from there. Hopefully, you know, we'll see some gains from this episode to that episode. I'm hoping, but I think a lot of it's going to hinge on this coronavirus thing and see how that goes. If it doesn't, you know, I'm going to keep my shares at a cheaper price, and eventually on the back end of this, you know, when the market does eventually turn upward, we'll come out of it in the green. But I definitely appreciate it. If you haven't already, always, if you can, give me a like and give me a subscribe, and you'll get notified whenever the next video comes out. So I definitely appreciate it. All right, talk to you all later.